For our next set of notes, we're going to talk about x and y intercepts, and we are on page 413 of our notebook. So x and y intercepts, we've talked about y intercepts, but let's talk about x intercepts first. So an x-intercept is the point at which the line intersects the x-axis. So that's what the x-intercept is. So I'm going to highlight the x-axis, okay, there it is. And the x-intercept is where our line intersects the x-axis. So if you look at this point that I just plotted, it is going to have an x value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the y value is 0. So the x-intercept for this line is 8, 0. The y-intercept, which we've already talked about, but we'll go over it again, is where the line intersects the y-axis. So I'm highlighting the y-axis, and I'm going to put a point. I'm going to highlight the point where it crosses the y-axis, and this ordered pair is going to be x is 0, and then y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So look at that. This is going to be 0, 8. So the y-intercept is 0, 8. So in our example shown to the right, the x-intercept, actually I'll do it in the right color, the x-intercept is 8, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, 8. So what do we notice about those? Well, if you look at the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. And if you look at the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So when you want to find the x-intercept of an equation, so we're going to do x-intercept first. So when you want to find the x-intercept of an equation, you are going to set y equal to 0 and then solve for x. And that's going to give you what your x-intercept is. And then the exact opposite is what's going to happen for the y-intercept. You are going to set x equal to 0 and solve for y. So they're kind of opposite, right? You want to find x, the y-intercept, you set x equal to 0. You want to find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0. So let's do an example. It says find the x and y-intercept of the equation y equals 3x plus 6. So let's find the x-intercept first. So we'll do that over here, x-intercept. And remember, you're setting y equal to 0. So when I do that, I have y equals 3x plus 6 is my equation. I set y to 0, so it's 0 equals 3x plus 6. I want to get x by itself, so I've got to subtract 6 from both sides. When I do that, that gets rid of it on this side. I get minus 6 equals 3x. Last step, divide both sides by 3, so negative 2 equals x. So for this line, your x-intercept is negative 2, 0 for this one. Okay, next, we're going to find our y-intercept. And that means that we set x equal to 0. So again, my equation is y equals 3x plus 6. I plug in 0 for x, so 3 times 0 plus 6. This becomes 0, and I get y is equal to 6. So my x-intercept is going to be 0, 6. So notice the x is 0, right? And for this one, the y is 0. So x and y intercepts. So for these questions, we are basically going to keep doing what I just did in that example. We'll do this one together. So they want us to find the x and y intercept of each of these equations. So I'm going to have to find the x-intercept. I'll do that first. I'm going to set y equal to 0. So I'm just going to rewrite it with y equal to 0. 0 equals negative x plus 5. I have to subtract 5 from both sides to get x by itself. I get negative 5 equals negative x. That's really a negative 1. I divide both sides by negative 1. Negative 5 over negative 1 is 5 equals x. So that means that I know y is 0, and for this equation, my x-intercept is 5. So it is going to be 5, 0. And now my y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So when I do that, I get y is equal to negative 0, which is just 0, plus 5. So y is equal to 5. So I know that x is 0 for my y-intercept. I figured out that my y is going to be 5. So this is 0, 5. We'll do another one together. My x-intercept for this equation, again, setting y equal to 0. 0 equals 1/2 x minus 8. I want to get x alone, so I've got to get rid of that minus 8 first. I do that, I get 8 is equal to 1/2 x. This became 0. I want to get rid of the 1/2. I got to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. This becomes 2 over 2x on the right. And on the left, I get 16 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and that is just going to be 16. So this point is going to be 0 for y, 16 for x. So my x-intercept is 16, 0. And then I'm going to go to my y-intercept. I'm going to set x equal to 0. So y equals 1/2 times 0 minus 8. That becomes 0, so y is equal to negative 8. So for this y-intercept point, x is 0, y is negative 8, 0, negative 8. We'll just finish off this page together. So for my x-intercept, I'm going to set y equal to 0. So I get 0 equals negative 4/3 x plus 2. I have to subtract 2 from both sides to make this go away. I get negative 2 equals negative 4/3 x. I got to multiply by the reciprocal, so it's negative 3/4 on both sides. And on the right side, it's just going to be x because this is going to be 12 over 12, which is 1. On the left side, negative 3 times negative 2 is 6 over 4. I can reduce that. I can divide top and bottom by 2, which would give me 3 over 2 as an equivalent fraction. So for this one, y is 0, x is 3 over 2. I can just leave it as 3 over 2. I don't need to turn it into a mixed number. 3 over 2, 0 is my x-intercept. And then my y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So y equals negative 4/3 times 0 plus 2. This becomes 0. Y is just going to be equal to 2. I know x is 0 for my y-intercept. I just figured out y was 2, so 0, 2. So x and y-intercepts, how to find them. You're going to do the next 3 on your own. When you do, actually do the whole page on your own, when you do these 4, you are going to find the x and y-intercepts, but then you're going to graph the equations using the intercepts. So once you find those 2 points, you're going to graph those 2 points, and then you're going to draw your line. So we could do this first one together, just in case you're confused. Let's do that. X-intercept, I have to set y equal to 0, so it's going to be x equals 3. So 3, 0 is the x-intercept. For the y-intercept, I have to set x equal to 0. That's going to give me y is equal to 3. And when I go to draw my line, it is going to look like this. So you're going to have a point on the x-axis, a point on the y-axis, and you're going to have your 2 points, and then you can draw your line.